I've been getting a lot of comments on my channel from both landlords and tenants. Neither of them make favorable comments about the other. So in this video, I'm going to add my comments to various issues to clarify some confusion. Hello again, everyone. I'm attorney Robert Flusses. If this is your first time here, now is the best time for you to subscribe, because when you do subscribe, you'll know where to go to get answers to your legal questions. Both landlords and tenants have rights. Evictions are filed for either non-payment of rent, violation of the lease terms, or the landlord is legally terminating a tenant's tenancy. Here's one of the big issues that I see in the comments to my videos. Many tenants complain about their landlord not making repairs to their unit. They call landlords slumlords and make other derogatory comments about them. Now, if you're a tenant and you believe that your landlord is not performing repairs, then your remedy is to provide notice to the landlord of your repair request. If the repair requires immediate attention and your landlord does nothing, then you may have legal grounds to terminate the lease based upon the legal theory of constructive eviction. This legal term means that the landlord has failed to provide habitable housing. For example, there are bed bugs or cockroaches from a previous tenant in your unit, or the furnace failed during winter, the air conditioning unit doesn't work during summer months. If your landlord fails to make repairs to conditions not caused by you as a tenant, then within a reasonable time after reasonable notice to your landlord, if the repairs are not done, then you can give notice to your landlord that the landlord has breached the lease and you're unilaterally terminating the lease. If there are repairs that haven't been done, then in most states the landlord must return your security deposit even after you vacate. Now let's take the landlord's point of view. The most common reason for evictions is non-payment of rent. Some tenants don't pay their rent because, face it, they have no money to pay. Some tenants will cause damage to the unit and try to turn it into justification for not paying rent. If your landlord is responsive to your repair complaints and promptly makes repairs, then the rent must be paid. If you don't pay with no legal justification, then your landlord has the legal right to evict you. Here's another issue. When you signed the lease, you indicated who's going to reside in the premises with you. If unauthorized persons are occupying the premises, then your landlord can legally pursue an eviction for violation of the terms of the lease. Here's one more. Let's say a tenant is causing damage to the property or not placing their trash in the proper receptacle, which is causing rodents to infiltrate the premises. That's a violation of the terms of the lease, and the landlord can pursue an eviction. Here are some things for both landlords and tenants to consider. When an eviction is filed and the tenant is ordered to vacate, most states don't allow self-help evictions. From the comments, I see that some states do allow self-help evictions. A self-help eviction is when the sheriff's assistance in the removal of a tenant is not required. A landlord can simply remove your personal property from the unit and change the locks. There is no legal mechanism in some states for physical removal. That's really rare because most states require law enforcement assistance to remove a tenant after a judgment of eviction to keep the peace. And what about eviction hearings? In most states, due process requires a hearing on the merits of an eviction. That means that the court hears both sides. The landlord and tenant each have an opportunity to present their case. Well, the court observes the credibility and demeanor of both parties when making its decision. Here's another one. Some tenants don't even show up for court. When that happens, the tenant defaults by their non-appearance and the court will grant the judgment of eviction immediately. So here's what I'm going to leave you with. If you can't pay your rent, then you must contact your landlord and either make arrangements to pay your rent or voluntarily vacate. Otherwise, you're going to have an eviction on the public record, and that could affect your ability to find alternative housing in the future. Regarding repairs, if your landlord is not making necessary repairs, as a tenant, you have to provide notice to your landlord of the failure to make repairs. And that notice should be in writing, not by text. You provide notice in writing to protect yourself as a tenant if you're summoned to court. If you wind up vacating due to uninhabitable conditions not caused by you, and your landlord sues you for unpaid rent due because of the fact that you left the unit, be prepared to present evidence to the court to justify your vacating of the unit. There's a lot more I can discuss, but that's for another video. I'm attorney Robert Flessis. Remember to subscribe, like, and share, and I'll see you in my next video.